Perfect. Lisa, how are you doing today?
I'm so good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Last night you were obviously really stunned by the results of the vote. How are you feeling a bit today now that you've been able to process everything and go through everything in your mind?
That was not the Irish exit that I wanted from the party, but I love a good party. So I was definitely blindsided, fully shocked, obviously, clearly didn't see it coming. And I have a lot of questions.
Now, is your exit? I mean, obviously, you learned one of the reasons why the house guests wanted rid of you is because they thought you were a far better player than Angela was. Does that kind of like soften the blow a little bit? Because you got to take that on pride, right?
You know what? I am absolutely flattered that everyone was able to see my brilliant mind and my strategic self, and they saw me as a threat. So, get the strong players out while you can, because you best believe I wouldn't be sitting on that block this week.
Now, one of the reasons why you were targeted is not just because you were a strong player, but also because they thought that you had one of the power ups. How did you think that even came into play? Were you shocked to hear that?
There were so many narratives of me throughout the house. And, every day in there was just like another one, another, like DJ Khaled said it best, another one. So, I was shocked every day, but the shocks of the theories about me that kept coming in, it's just Big Brother, and you have to troubleshoot it and you have to talk it out, and either people believe it or don't. I wish I had the upgrade, because I wouldn't be sitting here with you as much as I love chatting with your beautiful self. Would have loved to do it with a little bit more money, honey, in my pocket. But, I just see it as a very big compliment that they thought I was good. And you know what? I am good. So I'm good with it.
Now, you came into the house. You have a very obviously very positive attitude. Always keeping your head up high. Were there times in the house where it was very hard to keep that, the attitude that you're used to projecting and used to feeling?
Yeah, you know what? I am a positive person. I like to see the bright side of things. I can turn any kind of experience into an elevated experience. I curate experiences for a living, if you haven't heard.
Yeah.
Even down to being a have not, I think gratitude is the attitude. And that's how I am in life. And that's how I am in the game. Obviously, that positive attitude might not always be perceived the way it's intended to in the Big Brother house through that
Right.
lens. But you know what? I came into the house with the intention to be authentic, and positivity is part of that. So even when people are lying, manipulating, cheating, and being Big Brother in the house, I will turn it into a positive. So I will say all the feelings that I felt in the house were very real. All of the emotions that I went through were really real, but I know how to handle those
Yeah.
and overcome them and turn that into a positive experience, even if in the moment it is painful and a struggle and you can't see the light. I always like to try to find the light, because I know at the core of it that I am light in this world, and I will bring that no matter what game I'm playing.
Now, you said last night, you're talking to Julie Chen, you said you were disappointed that the house as a whole didn't send a message to the outside world about what was going on in the house, namely what you said, the bullying and stuff. Um, do you think that decision is going to come back to haunt them in any way?
Everyone makes their choices and has to deal with the ramifications and
Yeah.
consequences of their choices. I made choices that align with my character and align with my integrity inside the house and outside of the house. And for
Right.
that, I am proud. I stood up for what I believed in and I had my voice. That's all I can count on inside the house and outside of the house. So, with that being said, everyone made their choice within the game. They chose game to
Right.
get someone strong out and to keep a weaker player in the house.
Yeah.
At that time, I would have made a very different decision. And you know what? I commend my bravery to stand up for what I believe in, and for that I can stand by my own choices.
You and Angela had obviously a very rocky relationship in the house. What kicked it all off? Do you even understand what happened between you two?
Yeah, I do understand. I mean, it all started when she put my beautiful photo of myself up on the block week one, and she picked the wrong girl to mess with. Don't underestimate me. I bite back. I'm a chef.
Now we obviously saw, your confrontation with her. And what sparked all that? Because it just seemed to come out of really nowhere. You weren't either really interacting. And the bigger thing is, did she ever apologize to you or ever talk to you about her behavior?
No, she apologized to everyone in the house but me. She put me on the block. She tried to align with me when she felt like she didn't have anyone. And I
Right.
told her actions speak louder than words.
Mhm.
And after that, the actions and the words that were used did not align with me in the game. She wanted to align with me, but I never committed to or wanted to align with her. I was seeing if it was going to be a good decision,
Right.
and it was a good decision. So that is what I told her personally and professionally. This doesn't align with me.
Right.
And then she made her own choices after that.
Um, Now, at this point, I mean, maybe we're exaggerating a little bit, but she's confronted about half the house at this time. Do you think this is, what do you were there 24 hours a day. Did you see this as strategy? Is it personal? Is it both? What's your view of her confrontations again and again and again and again?
You know what? In the game, you can decipher or try to decipher what's gameplay and what's the human experience.
Right,
And it did not seem like gameplay at all. I could tell when she was playing the game,
right,
and this did not feel for any of us, or what was communicated among the group, that this was gameplay.
right.
And we know what we experienced in the house. And if that was her gameplay, I really, really don't agree with that. I think there is a boundary and a fine line for what is acceptable and not. And I endured experiencing a lot of that for how I was treated by being myself, for strutting my stuff and garnishing with things with edible glitter. But everyone's making their choices, and I made my own.
Now, pre-game, you talked about, wanting to use your chef skills as part of a strategy in the house. And then you're confronted with Tucker. And so how did that change as you got into the house and things evolved?
I'm a celebrity chef. I own two catering companies, Plates
Okay.
by Lisa and Batch Best Friend, doing my iconic thing out here in the real world, being a female business owner. And so I thought I would bring that into the house as my social game, because people
Yeah.
literally hire me to curate a vibe.
Yeah.
I'm a professional vibe curator, and this is what I do for a living. So I took those pieces of me, my business, my personality, everything into the house. And for some reason, the first week it did not land. And that was the funniest thing ever, because people love food, and people, love someone that feeds them. And I was going to fly under the radar, make some tacos and chimichurri and, lasagna. And food out here is the way to everyone's heart. Food in there
Right.
is not the way to everyone's heart. So, the culture of Big Brother, once you're inside the actual house
Yeah.
and you meet everyone, part of the, like, oh my God, my mind is blown. I studied sociology. So I'm so excited once I've processed the shock to dissect everything that's happened, but it's a completely different world once you're in there. So, as the strong strategic businesswoman that I am, I didn't take it personally, because whatever I was doing in the house wasn't working. So what you have to do is change it up and keep adapting. So, Brooklyn told me they wanted some more comfort food instead of California fresh farm to table vibe. So I made some macaroni and cheese. And then I got evicted the night before, but the macaroni and cheese was banging.
Now, looking back over everything that happened in the house, what will you take from your Big Brother experience? What have you learned the most about yourself or perhaps other people?
You know what? I am so grateful to the experience. I think there is nothing like this in the world, and I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity
Yeah.
to be a part of the show. What was really beautiful for me to reflect on and also be in at the same time was to see who I was at its fullest when it was
Right.
tested at every second. So everything that I have become in this life, personally, professionally, my self-work, like my journey as a human being and what I am capable of, I was able to apply every second of the day in some diabolical situations when my mind was under stress, when people were coming up with different theories, when I had to manage my social, spiritual, mental, emotional self.
Yeah.
The fact that I was able to do it and excel within it and be the person that I am while being faced with the utmost adversity, that is what I'm most proud of, is the person that I have become in this life, the person that I choose to be, and how I want to carry myself in the game, outside of the game, and moving forward. So for that, I am very grateful and very blessed.
Well, Lisa, thanks once again for taking the time to talk to us today. I think you carried yourself with a lot of grace in the house, considering all the pressure you're under. So all the best of luck to you in the future, and I'm sure you'll have plenty to say at the finale.
Thank you. Can't wait. And don't forget to garnish whatever you're eating with some edible glitter.
Take care.